There is a clear, unequivocal link between violent video games, violent behavior. Their blood pressure goes up, their heart rate goes up, violent actions go up.
The results clearly showed that playing a violent video game increases aggressive behavior.
We have devalued life through violent movies and particularly violent video games.
The video games, the movies, the internet stuff is so violent. I have a young, very young son who I look at some of the things he's watching and I say, how is that possible? And this is what kids are watching.
Don't you just want to punch someone in the face after watching that? Video games get a bad rep. Sure, they can be gruesomely violent at times, but the people you just heard speak aren't placing blame on the right things. They're blaming video games, a medium that many believe to be an undervalued form of art, for causing children and young adults to commit violent acts, even going as far as to claim they cause mass shootings. I think that's ridiculous. Video games have been a huge part of my life since childhood. They were my bread and butter and still are to this day. To hear these people with such large platforms slander something I've loved for as long as I can remember, it infuriates me. I'm a 21-year-old soon-to-be college graduate, and I've played my fair share of violent video games throughout my life. I've virtually murdered innocent people, fled from the cops, and committed countless other violent acts. Have I ever actually wanted to do those things? No, of course not, because I can recognize that video games exist in their own universe where they never encourage people to be violent in the real world. I never had these urges when I was a kid either, because I had parents who prevented me from playing certain games they felt I was too young for. There's an age rating on the cover of every video game, and many mature games offer content warnings before it starts up. These things exist for a reason. Instead of citing video games as a cause for real-world violence, we should instead look at the underlying mental illnesses that would allow for these virtual, fake scenarios to have such a drastic effect on a person. Whether or not you think video games are a form of art like I do, we should all agree that at the very least, video games do not cause violence. People do.